Psychological career alternatives in community settings. Here's for a brief overview of the psychological career alternatives. While many psychological careers seem extraordinarily similar to one another, they do not have to be. There are so many job settings and opportunities that require psychological experts or would benefit from a psychological intervention. These career paths may be less traveled and may be difficult to begin, but our society is changing and these paths are becoming more popular each year. The span of psychological fields in all directions is causing a positive disturbance in the originally playing field of psychology. Experts in all aspects of society are beginning to see and appreciate the importance of irreplaceable skills of psychology. This era is the new era for psychology. Now it's time to introduce the experts. Expert 1 is Kristen R. Beyer. Beyer is a licensed clinical psychologist, however, her job experiences with the FBI make her a unique psychological candidate. Beyer could be considered a forensic psychologist due to her duties with the FBI. While working for the FBI, Beyer served as the Social/Behavioral Science Research Coordinator at the FBI's National Center for the Analysis of Violent Crime. Beyer conducted peer counseling for the Employee Assistance Program and conducted psychological assessments for the Undercover Safeguard Program while working for the FBI. In other works, Beyer worked with other agents to conduct research on child abductors and serial murderers. Our second expert is Marissa Randazzo. Randazzo received her doctorate degree in social psychology. Randazzo, her maiden name Reddy, has served the United States for over 10 years. Randazzo has made many published works as well as aired on the social media in numerous occasions. The most significant work Randazzo has completed that is unique to our community is the work she put in researching and assessing school shootings. Randazzo was the chief psychologist and research coordinator in the making of the final report and findings of the Safe School Initiative. This report was made for the United States Secret Service and the United States Department of Education. More about Expert 1, Dr. Kristen R. Beyer. Beyer received her doctorate degree in clinical psychology in 1997 from the University of Detroit Mercy. Besides the work she has done for the FBI, Beyer has also worked at the Children's Hospital of Michigan and the Neurosurgery Group. Her work at the Neurosurgery Group involved the evaluation of brain and behavior relationships from children to the elderly. Beyer has also worked for Mission Critical Psychological Services. Here she conducted pre-employment evaluations. These evaluations were done for police officers deploying to Iraq and Afghanistan. She also provided counseling to individuals suffering from PTSD. Beyer has been a professor in numerous graduate psychology departments. Some of these departments include Marymount University, Walden University, and Argosy University. In an interview, Beyer stated the goal is to be able to say, look, we've talked with 300 inmates and 75% of them experienced this, or maybe only 20% experienced this, and then to provide that information to law enforcement officers through the United States, Beyer explains. The research, she says, will assist in developing investigative strategies that can cut criminal careers short and ultimately save lives. Expert 2, Dr. Marissa Reddy Randazzo. Randazzo is an expert on threat assessment, targeted violence, and violence prevention. Randazzo currently serves as the Director of Threat Assessment for Georgetown University, as well as the Managing Partner with Stigma Threat Management Associations. Randazzo's past job experience is most noted with her years at the U.S. Chief Research Psychologist. Within this position, she co-published the School Safe Initiative, as well as other extremely important publications relating to school shootings. Randazzo has had much past success with presenting and instructing, especially on threat assessment. Randazzo has trained over 12,000 professionals in all areas, such as law enforcement, management, administration, mental health, and the intelligence community. These trainings have been conducted in the United States, Canada, and the European Union. Randazzo's research expertise has been used in all areas of the government, such as within the federal, state, and local law enforcement communities. Government appearances by Randazzo include Congress, White House staff, and many interviews about her expertise on school shootings and other forms of targeted violence within the U.S., Social appearances by Randazzo include 60 Minutes, The Today Show, The Early Show, 48 Hours, Good Morning America, Dateline NBC, MSNBC, ABC World News, Nightline, The New York Times, The Chronicle of Higher Education, and National Public Radio. Now let's look at comparing and contrasting our experts. Dr. Beyer. While she is still a clinical psychologist, the focus should be on her work with the FBI. Beyer describes her work researching violent crime for the FBI in one word: amazing. For an example of Dr. Beyer's work, read Non-Family Child Abductors Who Murder Their Victims Offender Demographics from Interviews with Incarcerated Offenders for more information about her and her works. Now, for Dr. Randazzo. She still completed her doctorate degree in social psychology. She has received awards for preventing traumatic events and saving lives throughout her techniques and publications. And for an example of her work, read the School Safe Initiative. To compare the two, each expert obtains a non-unique psychology degree. However, both have done work outside the norms of their degree, and both have worked with PTSD and trauma evaluations and assessments.